In this video, we're going to discuss how to make it possible and show you how to make it possible for someone to actually check in at a kiosk at one of our sites for an event. So we want all Dream Team members to check in. And the way that we make that happen, we create an event that was in the previous video. Now we go to stations, and stations are each physical kiosk that people can check in. So you see our stations here, the Shaw Dream Team room, the U City Dream Team station. This is downstairs. OFK, so this is upstairs at U City. And then this is a Dream Team Station 1 downstairs. So two Dream Team stations downstairs. We also have these other stations. When it's green, it means it's active. It means it's actually pulled up on the iPad and ready to check in. These other ones are probably, the Station 4 is probably in a different app. The check-in app is not live. So one of the things that comes up sometimes is if we are having an event at Shaw, like any event, Sunday mornings included, we have different options here of what we wanted to show. One of the things that I typically do is I do only keypad. This is the number keypad. It's where people check in with their phone numbers. And then their input method is going to be the on-screen keypad. So it'll force them to use the on-screen keypad, basically. Now, the print station, I use self, and then I will typically lock the station to a single event. What this does is it makes it one less step for any of our Dream Team members or anyone trying to check in to try to determine what they need to check in for at the beginning. So I typically lock it to one station. So when people walk up to the kiosk, the keypad is showing and they can immediately check in. It just eliminates one of the steps. Now, what you can do is you can uncheck that. And now when people look at it, they have options. If it's during the time that the event is occurring and that it's shown, they can check in for that. Again, I typically lock it. And then I actually want to look, and I'm like, I actually want to lock it for Screen Sanity. That means that only Screen Sanity can be checked in at this time. And I'm going to hit save. So it's ready to be checked in for Screen Sanity. Screen Sanity is the only event that can be checked in for. But after that event happens, I do want people to now check in for Sunday services at Shaw. So after the event happens, I need to go into this station specifically and click, I'm updating it to Shaw check-in. This is going to make sure that it's ready for Sundays. And whatever it is locked to is going to be the event that they can actually check in to. So there's an element of, if we had this unchecked, any event that is occurring at the time that somebody walks up to the kiosk, they could check in for. I tend to, again, to like to have it locked to that just to eliminate a step. The downside of having it locked is that if it is locked and an event is happening that's not the event that it's locked to, so say this is locked to Shaw, and we have our Screen Sanity event going, Screen Sanity will not be able to be checked in for. So sometimes this is what happens at an event. If you walk up and you're like, nothing's showing up, it's probably because it's locked to an event and that is not actually occurring. So we want to adjust that. We want to change that so that it reflects our event. And now people can check in for our Screen Sanity event. As a refresher, when you go back to the events, if I needed to update this Screen Sanity event, I could click on it, a different Screen Sanity event. And I could actually see like how many people have checked in after the event happens. All right, and I can see the locations. The other thing is I can go in and edit an event from this page if I need to. And so this gives a pretty comprehensive of events and stations. These two are the ones that we use the most often. And typically you'll want to make sure that if in troubleshooting any of this, if it's a station problem or an event problem is one of the things. Station problem meaning it's the physical station is not working as it should, the physical kiosk. Event problem would be things are not working within the event. So locations aren't there, things like that. So that gives you a pretty good overview of how this works and how to adjust it. You can also do this from your phone. I recommend going through a browser like Safari to be able to accomplish that.